continue to defend Canada's workers and its businesses in the ongoing trade negotiations with the U.S. This after President Trump announced new 35% tariffs on multiple imports from Canada starting August 1st.
Traffic came to a standstill in Paris today. Dancers from the Moulin Rouge performed outside the legendary nightclub to celebrate as the wheels on its famous windmill were activated again. The massive decoration fell off more than a year ago. It was blamed on a technical problem. No one was hurt. S&P futures are down 42. Dow futures off 323. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply.
News this hour is brought to you by the Rusty Healy Agency in Madison. Call Rusty Healy or Landon Thompson at 601-856-3681 to request a quote or learn more.
At least 4 people are wanted in a shootout. A 60% chance for rain and storms this afternoon with a high of 92. A 30% chance tonight with a low at 71. A 40% chance for rain Saturday with a high at 94. Up to 95 Sunday. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. The shootout was in a neighborhood Wednesday afternoon.
We have processed that scene, which extended from Brook Hollow Drive to Kingswood Circle. You're talking about multiple blocks where young men were shooting at each other with assault rifles and handguns.
Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade says 18-year-old Lyndon Ford is the one arrested so far. A body pulled out of the Pearl River. That happened 11:45 Thursday morning, say Richland Police, who got a call from someone who spotted the body. No ID has been made, and that may take a while. The body was taken to the Mississippi Crime Lab. The superintendent of Canton Schools takes a big promotion to superintendent in Memphis and Shelby County Public Schools. Gary Hanna made that announcement on social media Thursday. Special elections have been ordered for November 4th by Governor Tate Reeves to replace John Horn, now mayor of Jackson, in the Mississippi Senate, and Orlando Payton in the Mississippi House. He was sworn in as mayor of Clarksdale last week. And State Senator David Jordan will also be replaced by special election. He retired from the legislature at the end of the special session in June. $1 million will go to combat nuisance birds for catfish farmers, and $3 million will go to the Delta Health Alliance in the federal ag budget if it passes. Those are just two of the many programs that will impact Mississippi that passed out of the Ag Appropriations Subcommittee Thursday. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, chip away.
And good Friday morning here on the Chip Matthews program. Good morning, Will Brown, first person checking in. And now Anita Ford, Summerall checking in. Good morning, Will Brown, and Shane Easley. Hey, y'all. just hit the like button, love button, and share it all online there here on the Facebooks and on the YouTube and on the let's see, the X and the TikTok. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all doing okay? That's good. That's good. It's Friday. I hope you're planning to come to Acme Pizza tonight. Frank, good morning. What you up to? It's Friday. I hope you're planning to come to Acme. We're going to have a little Rudy Warnock update. We're going to have a little reality check. And I'm going to give you my opinion on what's going to happen in that trial. Because it has got interesting. And we're taking it, let's see, we're taking off till Tuesday at noon because the United States government has a witness they need to bring in who, good morning, Jolene, who had to, was rushed to the hospital for dialysis or whatever, and we'll make it back by Tuesday, I believe they said. So he's going to testify Tuesday at noon, and that's the last witness that's testifying in the whole trial, is what it looks like. That's what they've said so far. You know, things could change. And so that means that the prosecution, after this person, will rest. And on the Rudy side of the table, they have not called anybody yet. And it doesn't appear they're going to call anybody. Because the government has not proven their case. With two cooperating witnesses who signed paperwork and gave statements, all it really looks like is they should have said a little bit more than what they said. Because Mr. Coletti and the let's see, what's his name? I got to remember his name. I can't remember the other attorney's name that's representing Mr. Cleveland. But anyway, they have done an excellent job of clearing up simple matters. And the biggest thing is, it didn't matter how much money Rudy spent on trips. Simple matters. When you come back and you turn in your Stevens is the guy's name. When you come back and turn in your receipts and they just reimburse you, that's no difference than if you were working for me and you sent you to the store to get a gallon of milk and you came back and I said, how much was a gallon? And I reimbursed it to you. It's just Rudy's good at spending big money. Big money. He eats at good places. And then what I got a kick out of was somebody made a comment about, well, that's a big receipt there. And it was like $600 to eat at Morton's Steakhouse in New Orleans for 4 people. Look, $600 at Morton's Steakhouse with a few drinks a piece, and we weren't drinking cheap whiskey. $600 cheap to get out of there. And we weren't drinking. I would hate to dare to tell you that there's some restaurants in Jackson and even Canton, Mississippi, that 4 people drinking good and having all the appetizers and living it up, $600 and nothing to spend in a steakhouse, especially when everything's a la carte. For y'all that don't know, a la carte means your potato cost, your salad cost, everything costs. Everything is the steak and everything plus everything. You don't get nothing free. Everything's billed out separately. Good morning. Yes, it's postponed, Mitch, but here's how I'm going to explain that. You have a witness that's sick that will be back on Tuesday to testify. And this person is so important to the case that they need to testify, or the government cannot prove their case. They have not done anything to win their case. Nothing. They have put nothing on trial that would help you win. And then the guy they want to put on and Coletti is, because they wanted to do it from they were talking about doing it from depositions in different ways, but Coletti he didn't want them to put in just a statement or a affidavit. They want to cross-examine him live, because for 20 years this guy was being extorted out of money when he had the grass contract at Canton Public Schools. One of the two people that have pled guilty to all the crimes and become are part of the state's evidence or the government's evidence. He's been extorting for 20 years. He's an alderman has been getting money from him for having the contract to cut the grass. For 20 years, 20 years. And everybody knows it. It seems that if you get a job in Canton and an alderman helps you get your job, they are getting a cut. They're getting kickbacks. So everybody that's hired is possibly getting a kickback. I mean, it is amazing what we're finding out. And I mean, and once again, you know, Rudy has not been, let me put it this way. Rudy's not clean here. But the reality is, if you're a jury and you didn't know what, I mean, and I got a lot of background knowledge on this, but if you knew absolutely nothing, it looks like two innocent men on trial and two people that got caught and pled guilty are covering it up and trying to blame it on somebody else. And in there blaming it on somebody else because they simply, you know, it's like, yes, I did this. They didn't say everything they did when it came to that subject. And it didn't, I mean, they weren't forthcoming in enough information. The state didn't ask for enough information, and they didn't produce enough information in their statements in court. Good morning, Lloyd Travis. It's unreal. Y'all, there needs to be in Canton, Mississippi, beginning today. And I will go before the aldermen next week and tell them this, because what's going on is everything that's happened, even at CMU, it appears that the aldermen from Canton at that time were controlling everything that went on, because if they didn't like it, they just fired a board member. Wasn't the board was doing what they were told in order to keep their jobs. And they get paid a stipend for being on that board, and they get insurance for being on that board. I don't know what else they get. I don't know if they get any kickbacks or anything of it. Well, everybody gets kickbacks in Canton, it looks like. But the reality is, if Rudy is only guilty of, we went to New Orleans and we went to Beyonce and I got us tickets to everything, and then I came in and turned my receipt in at CMU and they reimbursed me. Holy crap, it didn't come out of Rudy's pocket. That's just unreal. That is unreal. Good morning, Irene Jackson. When you see this stuff and hear it in court, and then you find out that everybody, that aldermen been doing this to people for 20 years in Canton, what they need to do right now for the next payroll period is see how many ghost employees we have working in Canton, or people getting paid a fee that they should not be getting, because they get paid enough for working and they get enough on top to kick some back up to the top, to the mob bosses that are aldermen that run the city. That's the way it has been working. The current aldermen have just got in, but this is what it was like. And right now it's only 2 aldermen. And on some of these votes, there were 4 people, and they always stuck together, and certain people called the meetings. And at this point, I'm not going to go into saying the names or making accusations, but I'm just going to tell you, the 4 peas in the pod, there were 4 peas in the pod, and their name is on everything, and their name was brought up in court, and their name is on the wall, and Gilkey and Anderson are going I don't see how the state doesn't say you lied on your statement. And that's that. I don't know what happened. Mitch would have to tell me what happened there. Mitch Tyner, who's clocking in online. And of course, he's an attorney, a good attorney. And then, of course, he has Canton's best interest at heart. An attorney, a good attorney. And you know, for years, I mean, this has started in 2016 for me, or even maybe before that. But I started running for office because I saw the corruption occur in my restaurant. In my restaurant on a Tuesday night on election night, when Rudy rented the building at 4:00 in the afternoon, which I didn't understand. He wanted a watch party and he wanted everybody to be there at 4. Polls don't close till 7. And Banks and Griffin were a part of that party. And Banks and Griffin were in there, and people were coming by. Just put it on Rudy's tab, put it on the tab, put it on the tab, get a drink. Well, before you can get your drink, they ordered the drink. They said, before you can get your drink, you got to get in the bus and go vote. This went on in my restaurant. This is what got me into politics. This is what I go, how much corruption can you have? This is what got me into politics. That's what's going on. We're on the Chip Matthews Show, and we'll be right back in just a moment, right here on WYAB. That's what's going on. We're on the Chip Matthews Show, and we'll be right back.
Here's your host, Chip Matthews.
I am your host, Chip Matthews, here on WYAB. I don't know what's going on today. My headset's just not very loud. Wonder if this little thing here has anything to... Oh, yes, that's what it is. You know, there's so many people coming into the studio and taking things and just turning it into something that it's not. Just one little wire here and another wire there. I don't understand. Rookies! That's what it is. Rookies! But anyway, welcome back to the radio here. Let's see, Lloyd Travis says, thank you, for a great and informative 3 hours yesterday. I'm thankful Clay was able to recover from his eye injury by lunchtime, and it was nothing too serious. We appreciate all that you guys do for us. Well, thank you, Lloyd. Thank you. Yeah. And y'all, Clay really did this time. He was injured and ill, and he did recover. But I mean, you know, sometimes it's, you know, it's the party trip, but it hadn't been the party trip in a long, long, long time. But I remember back in the day. Okay, so let's go through this one more time. What I think that the city of Canton, alderman, and the mayor should vote on. Now, I mentioned this to one of his, I'm not going to call him a flunky, but it's one of his guys. He's an okay guy sometimes. I'm just kidding, man. But I talked to him and I said, what you need to do is you need to have a next payroll period. Y'all need to write all the checks physically, no direct deposit or anything. Write all the checks physically and review each check and have that person come in and pick up their check. That's right. A simple audit of, we got 1,000 checks. Do we have 1,000 employees? Because what been going on for years, and once you get in the system, it's the same as the Social Security system and everything else. Once you get in the system and they start sending you a check, you just take your check. And in this day of electronic, being able to do it electronically, no, there may be somebody who works in a department that sends out checks to people and they don't exist at all. And it goes into an account, and then they get the money out of that account, and that's that. And, you know, you can send it to Go Cards and this, that, and the other. There's all kind of ways to send money that doesn't have to go through an actual bank. We live in a different world, y'all. The crypto world, by the way, which is blowing up, you know, you can transfer money all day. You can go to England and carry $1 million with you and only have your phone. And I can promise you, a lot of places won't let you go anywhere with $10,000 cash with you, but you'll have whatever you have in your crypto account with you to be spent immediately wherever you're at. That's the good thing about crypto. It's real time money, and you're your own bank. Your bank is always open when you want it to be. That's as time goes on, and a lot of you don't realize that you're already doing a version of crypto in having a bank account that you use in a credit card, because you never see your money. Your money goes in the bank account. You never see it. And then you take a card with a bunch of numbers on it and you go spend it. It's the same thing with crypto. You just don't have all the banking fees. You don't get charged for them holding your money. Every time you want to send money, you send money. And we're all going to be doing this sooner or later, y'all. And you think I'm crazy? You're going, Chip, I'm not going to ever get into that. I don't understand it. Well, I can promise you 20 years ago, if I'd handed you an iPhone, you didn't understand it either. And now you're all proficient in iPhoning, right? Yeah. You learn. You know, it's just like, for instance, eating an oyster. Somebody opened up a shell and said, look at that piece of snot in there. That's going to taste good. So you reached in there and pulled that snot out of that oyster and you ate it and went, that's good. I'm going to need a cracker. I'm going to need some horseradish. It's a brave man that first ate the first oyster. And it was an even smarter man that talked the second person into eating them. Think about that. Think about that. If we cut open a cow and saw something like that inside it, we wouldn't be eating steak, I promise you. Okay, Johnny Martin, the citizens of Rankin County beat for got our first town hall meeting last night. Thank you, Steve Gaines, for letting the citizens have their voice heard. And look, I also saw in the newspaper or online where there's one guy, he's saying, look, we'll take that statue and we'll move it here, and this is where we'll go, and I'll pay. Shut up. You're not moving anything. It is not your place to tear up history. And y'all, we got to quit tearing up history. You can't change history. So leave it alone. History tells us what we've done. Damn it, we used to be a country of letting immigrants in, right? All the time. We just let you come on in, right? No, we didn't let you come on in, but we got the Statue of Liberty up there and thing, and you went to Ellis Island, you were processed, and you became an American. That's all we want you to do now. It's crazy. It's the county, not the city, Jeff Thomas. Okay. But when we look at all this stuff that's going on, and look, in this trial, and I don't know if Rudy was the mastermind, but they have put although he's been involved in all of it and been accused of being the high dollar person here, but all the money was money stolen from CMU, which was stolen from the citizens. That would be you and me and other people from Canton that pay their bills and pay taxes in that town. But if we do an audit and get a check on every employee in Canton, and when you come in, we look at your ID, we look at your check, say thank you for working here, and we check them off the list that they exist. At the end of the day, you print 1,000 checks, you got 800 employees. Oops, you got 200 people that you're paying and you don't know who the hell they are. That's how you do it. They said, that's just stupid. I said, that's not stupid. That's the only way you're going to be able to catch it. That's one of the many ways to audit yourself. But the city of Canton hadn't had an audit since 2019. 2019. We've had a lot of political crooks through there. Allegedly. We've had some who've pled guilty more than once to fixing elections. So what needs to happen now is we need to find out where our money went and go after the people that took it. And there is now a written record testimony produced by the FBI, published in an open court where everybody is telling the truth, allegedly. And we can take that record and now go a little bit deeper in an audit to find our money. We had $17 million at CMU at one time, and it all disappeared. It all disappeared. We had people doing jobs in Canton that they weren't doing the jobs, weren't capable of doing the jobs, but they got a check. And then of that check, they had to give X amount to an alderman or the person that got them a job. There's so many family members. It's funny, the comptroller at CMU yesterday was on the stand, and she was scared to death answering questions. I felt so sorry for her. I thought I was going, she's going to have a movement or something up there. She is just shaking like a leaf. And when she'd go to answer a question, it'd take her forever to answer. And then they asked her, this was one of the witnesses for the government. Okay. So they asked questions, Then all of a sudden she said that in 1 month she started attaching cell phone text messages to the bill, to every time that she that she wrote a check to Rudy or whoever. She'd attach cell phone messages on who approved it. Y'all, her cell phone messages were not messages. They didn't exist. They weren't for the days in which they were. She obviously didn't know what the cell phone was doing. And just because I put somebody's name in there that's who it is, like if one of you were my best friends and I put your name in my phone as my name, the cell phone would say that's my name or your name. You see what I'm saying? I mean, cell phone names are not always accurate. Because if you don't want to get caught, you don't put, like if you're married, you don't put your girlfriend's name in your phone. You put Big Mike in there for her name or something like that, to where there's no suspicion about that number. That's the way that works. If you didn't know how that worked, I hate to be giving people information on how to get around something, but that's what went on, y'all. I wonder how many cell phones you and I as citizens are paying for in the county and in the city, because everybody's got a cell phone, and I hope we're not paying for every one of them. Makes you wonder. We got to take a break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. Right here on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
If you've had an accident, remember Clinton Body Shop. We work for you, not your insurance company. Don't be misled by someone telling you that you will have to pay more than your deductible. Our shops hold multiple certifications from the makers of today's vehicles. We are the longest running ICAR Gold Class certified repair facility in Mississippi. We know how to repair your vehicle, and we will work with your insurance company on your behalf. In Clinton and in Richland, we work for you. We take pride in perfection.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
CBS News Brief. Protesters and federal agents clashed during immigration sweeps at two Southern California pot farms.
Let me tell you, I'm scared, even though that I'm a citizen and everything, but still, I'm scared, really scared.
President Trump heads to Central Texas today for a first-hand look at the damage from last Friday's deadly flash flooding. CBS's Weijia Jiang.
CBS News has learned that he plans to meet with emergency responders as well as the families of some of the victims. And from there, he will head to his golf club in New Jersey.
A whistleblower is accusing Justice Department officials of retaliation after she was fired Monday. Patty Hartman tells CBS News.
It's hard to understand why or how it's okay to remove people from their job for doing their job.
Hers included distributing press releases about January 6th prosecutions. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back here on the Chip Matthews program here on WYAB. Coming up at the 7:07 this morning, the one, the only, the Clay Edwards Show, the strongest show in Jackson. See how I did that? You got Radio Strongman in the afternoon at 4, another one of the strongest shows in Jackson. Then, of course, we got my little show that we're just trying to build a little audience. So you hit the like, love, and share button on Facebook and this, that, and the other. Also, the Country Club of Canton is one of our new sponsors here, and I'd like to thank them. But they have the Robbie Webb 4-ball coming up soon. Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. And I want y'all all to plan to attend, whether you play golf or not. This will be August 9th. It'll be a day long of fun. But on the 12th hole, that's like the party hole at the Canton Country Club. There'll be a DJ-themed party going on there. You can bring your tent. You can bring barbecue. And because there's going to be a barbecue cooking contest, y'all. And they do all kind of crazy stuff, give out all kind of prizes doing this. But the backyard barbecue contest that they'll be having, they're giving away $1,000 over a few people, and then you can compete in ribs and wings. And that's August 9th at the Country Club of Canton. We'll have more details coming out real soon. But y'all, if I enter it, that'll be it. I'll win. That's that. Nobody cooks better barbecue than me, and I challenge you to do so if you can. But anyway, that's Canton Country Club. Also, y'all get out there and play around the golf this weekend. Tell them Chippy sent you. Yeah, there you go. 6:40 in the morning. We're talking about the corruption, the crimes, the Rudy Warnock trial. But let's just stop for a second and think about the county. Now, at the county, an employee who is related to one of the supervisors, who also voted on appointing this person to work as the comptroller at the city or at the county level. She just got an $8,000 raise. She was rewarded for losing $2.7 million that she gave to somebody and she didn't know who it was. Is the $8,000 hush money? Is the $8,000 just to raise their raise to where when they get rid of her, she's got a better 4 high for her PERS? Look, all these fake checks that are going out in all these places have PERS attached to them too. So you have a PERS crime going on too. And that $8,000 that they gave that girl, that was a raise for doing a good job. I would think you get a raise for doing a good job. I'd hate to know what she would get if she got a raise for doing a good job, because you lose $2.7 million. You only get 2.1 back. And of course, we have no names of anybody that did any of this where they went and found this money. And the way things go around Canton, it may have leaked over into the county to where all you have to do is we'll just move some figures around on paper and make it disappear. We got, here's 2.1 million. We can just move that decimal over here. Oh, it's all back except for $600,000. That's okay. We can live with $600,000 loss. And look, for 3 or 4 years, the county didn't pay the city of Canton all their money. That's right. And then when they finally figured it out, Canton, and it had been like 6 or 7 years, Canton was only allowed to recover 2 years of that money because that's as far back as legally in the state you can go back and get money that you lost. Because basically, and I mean, basically nobody in Canton's keeping up with the money and nobody's keeping up with the money at the county. And they all say, well, I didn't do it. every supervisor that's sitting on that bench that voted to pay the payroll docket is responsible for what they're paying on that payroll docket. That's why when they gave that raise this week, Trey Baxter and Casey Brannon voted against it. And the other three, Steen, Griffin, and Banks, the three amigos, as they're affectionately called in the area, voted to give those raises. And they gave raises to everybody. And you're giving raises before the next budget year. Why would you give a raise before the next budget year? Does that mean that that year and the next year goes on your PERS and just knocks your PERS up a little bit higher? If you get paid more in the last year, then that's making your 4 high go up, which makes the next year the same figure going up. And so that helps your 4 high on your, and the budget year ends in a month, end of this month. So does that, are we manipulating to where cousins and aunts and uncles and friends inside the family that we get jobs to that shouldn't have these jobs, that make mistakes of like $2.7 million? Do we do all that just to, we're going to make sure that when they retire, they got plenty of money. That way they won't come get some of mine. Is that the way that works? Is that what you're doing? Oh, that's your favorite cousin or something? Your favorite niece or nephew? I mean, that's what we're doing here. You know, because I can tell you right now in Canton, if you're white and you go to get a job at any of these places, you're not getting hired unless they need somebody to do the work. And then they'll put somebody above you that's kin to somebody who will be your boss, but not able to do the work. Don't say that doesn't go on, because I hear the grumblings. I hear people talk. And y'all, we could fix all, they say, well, the people love us. That's why they keep electing us. Well, we have all the cheating and the votings, and everybody goes, Chip, you're crazy. Everything that I said is a lot of what I said over the last, I guess, 16 years about this stuff is all true. It's all on the record in court now, and it was brought up by the FBI. Unfortunately for the FBI, they didn't ask enough questions of them when they got their allocution of what all they did. But good defense attorneys for Rudy and for Cleveland Anderson did get the rest of the information out of them, or more information. Yeah, I don't know if you got it all. But this person from Canton that works at CMU, who's the comptroller, she was obviously covering up stuff. And then, of course, she said that she was Andrew Grant's cousin. And that's what you see. You see in Canton a legal authority, or a person that's been elected by us, allegedly, gets into office, and then they only hire their friends. They only hire their family. And it doesn't matter if they mess up, they just cover up and give them raises. I bet you everybody in Madison County that works for the county has a cell phone that's paid for by the county. And the same for the city of Canton. Or at least in certain districts. Let's put it that way, in the county. Because you got some great people working at the county too. Don't get me wrong. There are great people working. But they have to put up with a lot of Democratic BS. And y'all forget, Rudy was at the county too at one time. It's where he honed his skills, where he built a pond or a lake up in Paul Griffin territory there that didn't even hold water. And did they go against his bond to get it fixed? No. They just paid him some more money to fix it. And that's the other thing. When you engineer something and you say, this is what's going to work, well, I'm going to build this bridge, and the bridge fails, why don't we ask people on their bond to fix it? That's why we hire licensed and bonded people. But no, we just give them, we just allocate some more money to them and tell them to get it fixed, because they were already getting a kickback. That's why the insurance company ain't going to kick them back any money, the politician. So they call you up, you fix the bridge. Here's a little kickback. thank you for hiring me. Because in the bid process, you don't always have to take the lowest bid. You can also compare, be objective on the work, and decide who would be a better person to do the work or who has a better reputation. You're allowed to add that in. That's why Socrates Garrett gets so many contracts in Jackson, because he's always done it. So what do we do? What are we going to do about nobody voting and nobody caring? And they're going, Chip, you're telling us all this crime you're hitting it with so much, and by tomorrow all this will be off your minds. Come election time, you'll go, well, that guy's been doing a good job. So we're just going to keep him. We'll just vote for him. We know his name. We'll vote for him. That's why the incumbent always wins. And right now, it's really interesting in the state race for governor. Everybody's saying they're going to run for governor. But what's going to happen is we get closer to it. Some of them are going to be dropping out and saying they're going to keep the jobs they have because they can't raise any money. And old Delbert sitting there and worked every deal with the devil and the Democrats on the other side and in the Benny Thompson County. So Delbert's looking at it. I got 30 counties in Mississippi, I know. And then if I can take half the votes in the rest of the counties from the Republicans that don't know that I'm a rhino, then I'll be the governor because I'll win the Republican primary. And then whoever wins the Republican primary, the Republicans will show up and vote for them. That's right. Like sheep, we'll show up and vote for whoever is at the top of the ticket, whether we like them or not. You'll say you won't. But come election day, that's what you're going to do. We're going to take a break. We'll be back on the Chip Matthews program on WYAB. We're going to take a break. We'll be back on the Chip Matthews program.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
If you don't see the rock, you better keep on rolling.
Ken here with Rapid Oil Change. Do you drive a vehicle under a fleet program? Let Rapid Oil Change help. We specialize in local and national maintenance programs. With parts in stock for most makes and models, our goal is to minimize fleet downtime. Contact us at 601-919-8474.
Rapid Oil Change, where you should be going. If you don't see the rock, you better keep on rolling.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
Hello, WYAB listeners. My name is Rob Montgomery. I'm a minister in the Church of God, and I'm honored to be the regional overseer for the Church of God of Louisiana and Mississippi. I invite you to listen to my program, Arise Shine, on Sunday mornings, where I'll share the Lord's thoughts to my heart for you. Arise Shine will include Bible messages, encouraging thoughts, and a biblical view of current events. It's my hope that you'll be blessed.
Tune in to Arise Shine, Sunday mornings, 10:30 to 11.
Well, I'm sitting here today with one of my favorite clients, Reggie Brumfield. The first time I believe we worked together was around 25 years ago, wasn't it, Reggie?
I remember that time my wife, Kathy, and I we were looking for a home. He sold that house to us, and when we got ready to buy another home, he helped us sell that home and buy another home. So 25 years later, when we decided to purchase another home, your name was the only one in our minds.
601-720-4037, RitaJensen.net.
Friday mornings are special here on 103.9 WYAB. That's when we hit the pause button on the stressful issues of the day and enjoy interesting conversation and terrific music by some of the most outstanding artists in the world, all from Mississippi. I'm Jim Thorne, inviting you to join us every Friday morning at 9 for That's What's Happening's Blues and Arts Hour, made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, and presented by one-of-a-kind, locally owned Fusion Coffee House, Highland Colony Parkway, Ridgeland.
Hi, everyone. This is Matt Wazlowski, owner and general manager of 103.9 WYAB. How much money does the state of Mississippi spend on advertising? A little over $10 million each and every year. Apparently, some people think that it's vitally important for the state of Mississippi to promote the Memorial Stadium, the Department of Marine Resources, soybean and rice products, MDOT, the State Fair, and the worst category of all, miscellaneous advertising expenditures for who knows what. And who pays for it all? In most cases, you, the taxpayer. I find that absolutely abhorrent. That's why 103.9 WYAB refuses to accept advertising dollars from state government agencies. If you ever do hear a state agency advertising on WYAB, we're not getting paid for it. We stay on the air due to the support of the many businesses that you hear advertising every day on 103.9 WYAB. So I only ask that you please tell our advertisers that you appreciate their support of 103.9 WYAB. And keep listening.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And I am Chip Matthews here on the last day of the week to work at the radio station. Here on this Friday, I'll be back Monday morning, 6 a.m. Y'all come on out and see me tonight at Acme Pizza. It's always great to come out and have a pizza and listen to Jamie Eisenhood out at the Acme Pizza out there on Old Fanning Road, right in front of the bowling alley, Fanning Lanes. Come on out and have a pizza, have a pie, have a cocktail. Y'all, we have the best I don't care what any of these fancy restaurants say. We have a better selection of bourbons at our restaurant than anybody else. I'll put it up against anybody. Any of these fancy highfalutin restaurants want to talk bourbon. We got the bourbons. We got tequilas. We got, now they're pricey. Some of them are $90. We got something out there that's probably worth $1,500 a shot. So come on out and see us at Acme Pizza and have a cocktail. It's kind of our anniversary. We don't know what day we really started the first day, but it's kind of our anniversary of being open 3 years. Of course, it wasn't supposed to make it. It wasn't going to be there that long. 3 years serving the greatest pizza on earth, according to Marvin Martian. Yes, Marvin Martian. He's one of the Acme characters, as you know. But come on out and see us. Now, back to this corruption just for a second before I go, because I don't want y'all to know it. So let's do this Rudy Warnock thing. I believe that Rudy Warnock and Cleveland Anderson, no evidence has been provided to convict him. Nothing. All you can get onto them for is having, not Cleveland, but just for Rudy, is for having expensive taste. Because everything they bought, you take somebody out of Canton, you carry them to go eat and say, we're going to eat at Morton Steakhouse down there on Canal Street. I ain't never eaten there. You go in there, oh, they got good steaks. And you're not looking at the bill. And then you turn the bill back in at CMU to get reimbursed or wherever, City of Canton, Madison County, doesn't matter. And I was still, yesterday, I was hoping for testimony on how much those boots cost that Mike Espy reimbursed Rudy for, but they must have been some pretty boots that were bought at Neiman Marcus, where they accidentally ran into each other in there while buying other stuff. I don't get that. I don't understand accidental meetings in Washington, D.C. at Neiman Marcus. Does that happen? I guess it does. I run into people all the time. When I fly around the country or go somewhere, when I'm getting on the plane or off the plane, I'm always running into people. So that could actually have happened that way. But What do we do about the corruption, y'all? What do we do? We know that this is going on. Do we need to get an attorney to explain it to us and file a class action suit as the citizens? Because we don't have a ballot initiative. We don't have a recall in Mississippi. So what do we do to fix it when all these corrupt politicians keep getting their way and they say, well, you can always vote me out, and you can't do that. It's just like Paul Griffin in the last election out at the reservoir. Needless markups. That's correct. You know, out there at, when they tried to put 5,000 people through one precinct that was 800 square feet, you know, nobody wins that way. Nobody can win. I mean, that's minor corruption. Because it was, you know, they could have split it up. Now they do have two places. You vote inside in that district. You will now vote at the old place and at Deerfield Country Club. But anyway, I'll be back Monday with more bright and cheerful news about our government taking advantage of us, the people taking advantage of us. Please find a church. Go to a church this weekend. Pray for our leaders that they decide that they want to take care of us rather than harm us. And I will see y'all back here Monday morning, right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Come see us tonight at Acme Pizza. I need the money.